I think the most important thing in life is not how much you accumulate, not how many titles you have. It's what you do for other people. And you can make impressions on other people's lives and change their lives and never know it.
Dr. Barbara Shepard lives a simple life, but her story is everything but simple. She was born and raised in the small town of Cullen, Virginia. She has lived in Cullen for most of her life and still lives just a few blocks from her childhood home. Shepard and her late husband, Otis, lived in the handmade log cabin for many years. Dr. Shepard has been a professor at Longwood University for over 10 years, but this is not the life that Shepard always imagined for herself. After the birth of her first daughter, Shepard welcomed her second daughter, Cheryl Ann. Shepard described Cheryl as her obedient, fun-loving drama queen. On Cheryl Ann's 18th birthday, as she was driving to her sister's home just a few minutes away, she lost her life in a car accident.
There was a period of time that I wondered, you would look out of the window or drive in the car and you would see people going to the grocery store and doing everyday things, and it was like, how can they be doing everyday things, and how can life go on when my child is gone? It was a hard time, you know. I spent a year trying to decide what to do, and that's when I decided that I was going back to school. And I sort of lived her life. I went to school in the years that she would have been going to school, but, you know, I feel like part of what I do, and the reason I love teaching so much, and the reason I love being in that classroom, is because all of y'all, all the students, in some way or another, I see a little bit of Cheryl in them, and I can't help but love them.
Shepard not only decided to go back to school for her associate's degree at Southside Community, but she went on to graduate from Longwood University with her Bachelor's of Arts, then her Master's at James Madison University, and finally her PhD in History at the University of Mississippi. She later returned to Longwood as a history lecturer and is now on the tenure track. Chair of the History, Political Science, and Philosophy Department, Dr. David Coles, spoke on the decision to add Dr. Shepard to the tenure track.
She's very valuable in that she could teach a wide variety of classes. She could do 4 or 5 classes a semester, and the students liked her. She got good evaluations.
History professor and one of Shepard's closest friends, Dr. Deborah Welch, spoke about how caring Shepard has been over their many years of friendship.
She is the essence of what used to be Southern gentility, which I know sounds terribly snobbish, but there was a thing about women were always there for every situation. They took care of people, and they were just nice under all circumstances, and that's Dr. Shepard.
On a Sunday morning in spring 2012, Shepard's husband of almost 30 years, Otis, passed away. Shepard credits not only her granddaughter Katie, but also all of her students for helping to get her through the difficult times following her husband's death.
I went back the next week, and I thought, how in the world am I going to do this? How am I going to deal? But my students, they helped me, you know, being there with them. They expressed their sympathy. They, you know, were patient with me. They knew every once in a while I would have one of those moments that I'd have to sort of do the stiff upper lip and go on, but they gave me some place I needed to go. They gave me someone who needed me, and I really don't know how those first few months I would have made it. They were there at school, and when I got here, Katie was here at home, and I was surrounded by young people and full of life, and it made it easier for me to decide, yep, you're going to go on and live.
Throughout the many trials of her life, Dr. Shepard has always been dedicated to teaching, education, and the needs of her students.
The most important thing I learned is not to be self-centered, to look to the needs of others, help others, but also not to be so fiercely proud and independent that when you need help, you won't take it.